everybody. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the chicken salad now. Berries as well to this. So it's gonna be a nice salad once we get done with it. Okay. And the smaller the better. Okay, same process with the apple, and I can use the same board because it's all going into the same thing here. So I do prep my fruits and vegetables first because once we get to the meat and egg part, I don't want to be transferring food over. That's a health cause there. And once I start touching the chicken, that's the only thing I want to do, and then be able to prepare the mixture in here. So remember, chicken and meat, want to do a little crossing of chicken and vegetables and sauces and spices as possible. So the prep is really important. The apples, I'm doing it the exact same way. And because they're going into the salad, I don't care about them touching. But again, I want the flavor and not necessarily a whole heck of a lot of crunch. And as you see here, I'm only using about 1/3 of an apple here. Yeah, this is not going to be a huge salad, but so you use it at your discretion what you want. And again, looking at, just a little flavor and not a whole lot of that. Yeah, and again, any vegetable, a lot of people, if you happen to have some extra pineapple, and I don't recommend any type of melon. Of course, it's too water soluble, but you want something a little firm like an apple. Nothing softer than a pineapple. And it makes an amazing meal, and when you get tired of eating just plain roasted chicken, which I normally do, it is, the more you're able to work with it, but you don't want it too fine where, when you put your mayonnaise and mustard, which I forgot to add in my ingredients, but I think you all knew it was going. Okay, now, so as you see, my surface is really clean, but again, I'm using meat, so I do an extra step. And again, hot water and soap works really well. But because I was actually cutting meat and meat did touch my surface, and I'm going to complete the process through prepping on the same surface, I'm going to take my Clorox wipe and wipe it down. So this is the part that most people forget, but it's so easy to transfer germs when you're dealing with meat and eggs. And so I'm gonna keep this to the side here because I do have the eggs coming. So here's my process here. And the eggs, they've just boiled, the 3 eggs. Let me see if I can get that. Okay. Dried cranberries. And lay out of mustard, but I am now, so I'm gonna have to use some grateful pine. So we're gonna see how this is gonna go. Not so well, it looks like. Probably gonna turn the video off because this is really gonna be time consuming. Thing, and start cleaning your hands. And because I use the surface to clean to break the eggs down on. Okay, so you now see the eggs that are in here. I am now going to add the chop. My hands are clean, so I can spoon this in. This is my chop. This is the apple and the green pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and spoon this into the mixture here. Sorry for the scraping sound. This is a ceramic. Okay, and I'm gonna add some berries in here too, some cranberries. So I'm just gonna put a few in my hand. And yeah, from here on, you will not see any, which you haven't really seen through the process at all. So I'm actually going for looks and aesthetics and see how that looks already. Okay, so mustard's not a big deal, but I want to add my seasonings in here now. And so always add pepper before you add salt. That way you can see how much salt or whatever your seasoning is going to be. So I do like seasoning. And this is the adobo. That was the pepper at first. Just a little bit. So I don't like a lot of salt in this. And I'm gonna start adding just a little bit of curry, just a little, because at the end it's gonna be kind of a yellowish orange. So I'm gonna add more as I go along there. I also add sugar to mine. Okay, so a lot of people add pickle relish in the sauce that goes in it. So I'm just doing a little, just a little. Okay, yeah, just a little, maybe I would say 2 tablespoons. And the same with the salt, with the mustard and the mayo. So I use these little wooden spoons. This is it's not the smallest, but kind of like the medium-sized one. So maybe something like that. And I've never tried the Grey Poupon, but this is all I have. Who the hell runs out of mustard? I never do. But I did this time. And thank God I didn't have to go to the store. We'll just improvise because that's what we do. And I'll take this spoon just to wipe this off and rinse that off real quick. Usually I'm mixing mayonnaise and mustard, so I don't really particularly care if I get a little mustard in the mayonnaise. Okay. So for the cooking demonstration, I'm going to do that. So usually about 2 or 3 of this to start with. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Like 3 full ones usually what I use. I don't think I've and vinegar. Just a little splash, couple of splashes. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix it, and we'll add more as we move along. You can use a separate spoon because if you have to add more mayonnaise, which it looks like I am, you'll need that spoon back. So I'm gonna rinse off the vegetable one. Remember, this can't transfer. Okay. A little bit more mayonnaise because I want it to stick together, but I don't want it to be soupy. So this is about 2.5 more teaspoons of that. And about the end of this mustard here, just a little bit mustard. Should be 2 to 1 on the mustard, 2.5 to 1. 2.5 mayonnaise, 1 mustard. That's usually about the general rule on that. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna need any more on that. I had a lot of bottles of Grey Poupon. I can't believe I'm out. Gave away all that stuff. I should have kept them. I found them at grocery outlets. They were for really cheap and used them a lot. Okay, so now that consistency is looking about the way I want it. Okay. What I can tell is I don't have enough pickle relish in it. I like pickle relish. I want to see it just a little bit, so I'm going to add just a little bit, maybe about a teaspoon there. And maybe a few more things here. Okay, I haven't tasted it yet, so there you go. I kind of like to see the berries also. Okay, the consistency is absolutely perfect. Okay, so you see the color is a little different. So with curry is just seasoning that's used in the Caribbean. I found it in Africa and all the places. Curry has a lot of spices that are in it, primarily turmeric, coriander, cumin, cayenne pepper, mustard, black pepper, ginger, spices. It's just a combination of spices, but it's used in the cultures. I will tell you, if you get this from McCormick, you will get a third of this for about $8. But if you go to an Asian market, look for the Jamaican curry or a curry that they have, and this actually costs $3.99. So curry's always good. But again, it's about the, okay, so I want to really focus on the color here. This is curry chicken salad. Okay, so look at the color. Okay. So I like it to look a certain way. I really want it to have the yellowish hue to it instead of the whitish that you would typically get. Yellowish orange is what I'm going for. So I will blend and fold in a little bit more curry, and I'm also going to add a little bit more sugar too, and a little bit more, not necessarily Goya. I think I add a lot of Goya, but a little bit more pepper too. So curious to know what this is going to taste like with the Grey Poupon. Okay, so this is how I like it. Again, you can substitute those apples for pineapples, and you know, pineapples in a chunk is not a bad thing. So now I am going to taste this, because this is what you want it to look like. I don't know how to, okay. That is the perfect texture and the perfect look. Okay. And that, family, is chicken curry salad a la Myneca. It's also lunchtime here. So, remember I said I'm going to use these for sandwiches? So I'm taking a croissant now, cutting it in half from the opposite direction. Okay? I'm going to plate it. Okay? And just add the salad to it. Okay. This is also lunch, by the way. Okay, so don't want it too thick on here because I'm going to be cutting this into 3s and 4s, like half sandwiches. Okay, so look, that's how it looks on the croissant. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over like that. Okay, move this over. And I'm going to cut it in half. Okay. Always use a sharp knife if you have it. If not, whatever. Okay, so this came out exactly like I wanted. I didn't really taste it to see if it would be the flavor that I want, but I think it will be okay. Let me take a bite.